Welcome to dbtGA4 Setup, Custom Events and Parameters. I'm Damon. In this lesson, we're going to create staging models for your custom events, and we're going to register custom parameters for custom, standard, and recommended events. Let's jump right in. Now that we have recommended events set up, we now need to set up custom events. So if you look in Tag Manager, I've got CTA click, CTA view, form start, and form submit as custom events. The dbtGA4 package has a very convenient macro for creating custom events. And just scroll here and copy this. And so we need CTA click, CTA view, form start, and form submit. The way you create a custom event is very easy. So make sure we're working in the project and not the package. So we want in the models folder. We're going to create a folder because we want to keep things nice and organized. So staging. And these are, I'm going to put these in another events folder, just again to keep things organized. Create file, stage, GA4 event CTA view.sql. This is the only time when you need to add .sql, and then we paste the macro in here and we change the name to match your event. Hit save, create file, stage GA4 event CTA click, create, and CTA click. I will go do the other two events offline and pick up when that's done. Okay, there we have, you see 4 new events created. You also see in the changes, those new models are in here. I used stage GA4 _ event and then event name to just be consistent with package naming conventions. And these models are ready to go, except we need custom parameters. So if we here look at CTA click, we see that there's click text and click target custom parameters. Custom parameters need to be added to the package because the package needs to know to create custom parameters. And the way we do this here, if you look, we scroll up, and custom parameters is with a variable called event name _ custom parameter. So for page view custom parameters. Now we go and open our dbt project, and we're going to add this to the vars block. And now, so this would add custom parameters to the page view. Now what we're working though with custom events that are defined in the project and not the package. So to do that, we use vars, and we're going to create a CJ carrot juice, which is again lining up with my project name up here. And then now we want to add custom parameters to, so we don't want page view, what we want is CTA view and CTA click custom parameters. So name, click text, and click target. Click, so we want some quotes, click text, and then value type. So the value type is derived in BigQuery. You go look at your source data, and when you hit preview, so we see here you've got event params.key, and then event params.value.string value, event params value.int value, value.float value, and value.double value. And what you need to do is take the key of your event and map it to the column that it corresponds to. So page title matches to string value, whereas GA session ID matches to int value. Now I know click text and click target are both string values, so value type is string value, and then name click target space space. So be careful when working with YAML. In YAML, a tab is not valid. Now the DBT cloud interface, it turns tabs into double spaces so you don't error out. But if you work in other editors and you get used to tabbing, you're going to end up with some invalid spaces that are a pain to debug because, well, invalid tabs that are a pain to debug. All right, I'm going to do the rest of my custom parameters, and then we'll show you what that looks like. There, and now you see I've got CTA click, view, form start, and form submit custom parameters. The validator says we're okay, and we go dbt run, and you can select individual models. Stage GA4 event CTA click. You can select multiple models by just doing a space. CTA view, and I won't do all of these just to save the typing. Run there, and now if we go into BigQuery, let's go refresh, reload. And we go into stage GA4 event CTA click, and we see here that click target and click text are indeed in the database now, in the correct folder. And that's how we set up our custom parameters and custom events. Next, we're going to do a bunch of cleanup settings before we get into configuring our data marts. To recap, you should now have staging models for your custom events using the custom event macro, and you should have your custom parameters registered for standard, recommended, and custom events using the name and value type variables. I'll see you in the next lesson.